Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. So, first things first, I want to apologize for the delay. Work was a little bit crazy, some people were calling out, so I did go in a couple extra times, coming in early, leaving late, that kind of thing, to get a lot of work done. And I have kind of lost time to be able to do videos in the last week. I know I said I wasn't going to make any more excuses, and I found another excuse. So mark that as another way for me to, have an excuse for something. Anyway, I have decided that I was going to continue going through the breakdowns and everything. And I have a little bit to make up. I didn't do Charlotte last time, and the reason why I didn't do Charlotte is because Charlotte is in a very bad spot with her meta. Charlotte does a lot of PvP stuff, and her place in the meta is pretty limited currently. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm taking some time today, and I'm just cranking out a bunch of these to try to apologize and make up for everything. We are doing G.Dahlia, we are doing Regina, and we are doing Iota. We are doing all three of these breakdowns and showcases and all of it. Obviously, they're going to be broken up into their parts. However, I am going to be going through and doing them all. Dahlia is the one that I'm most worried about doing because Dahlia excels kind of everywhere. She's very good in PvE. She's good in PvP. Just right now, PvP has been a little unforgiving for her because of the current state of PvP. Cough, cough. Nella, cough, cough. So we are going to start with G.Dahlia with her breakdown. I'm going to be doing all of the breakdowns first, and then I'll be doing the showcases. Hopefully Shiro has been a little, Shiro's been having some life issues as well, so I'm going to hopefully get him on board, and he can help me out with these to get these all out. I've been waiting to see him get back to me, so we're going to just hope that he does soon and we can get it rolling. Hopefully, because if I try to edit these myself, you guys will definitely notice a difference. But to start this off, we are going to go with G.Dahlia. So G.Dahlia is my strongest character at the moment right now, sitting at 68,000 power. She is very strong. She does a amazing amount of damage. And her survivability is really, really sick. She doesn't do like cannon defense bonuses, but she does do like a barrier from like a barrier generation. To start things off like we always do, we're going to go over her skills. First things first is Cold-Blooded Torture. Attacks an enemy has a 35% chance to activate an enhanced attack. After activating an enhanced attack, increases priority of all allies 20%. When granted, Hubris's Dominion doubles activation chance of activating an enhanced attack. So you get a 70% chance to activate the enhanced attack. Unfortunately, it's not 100. I wish it was a 100. But if you get it to burst 1, it always will do the enhanced attack. So as long as you're able to get enough AP to get that burst 1, it is really nice. Burst 1 increases penetration by 30%. That's really nice to break through those high defense bosses. Her level 2 just increases the damage, and then at level 3 you get the extra turn, which is really, really nice because you just being able to pop it and you can actually get 2 extra turns. It's super cool. I like it a lot. Very good burst for her. The next one is Untouchable One. Passive effect: when granted, Hubris's Dominion damage suffered in one attack does not exceed 70% of the caster's max health. It includes dual attacks and additional attacks. Triggered effect: upon taking a critical hit, activates Cold-Blooded Torture against the target. So basically what it's saying is the passive effect means that she can't take more than 70% of her max health. And when she takes a crit, she gets to counterattack with her S1. Now, an interesting thing with this passive effect, if you pair her with someone like, I believe, My Christina has it. Yeah, Charmer's necklace. If you combine her with like a Charmer's necklace, you can actually get Dahlia that skill that she has for Untouchable one. I think it caps at 49% rather than 70%. So if they just hit her, she can counterattack. She'll be at 51%. She gets hit again, she'll be at 1% or 2%, and we'll be able to counterattack again, and then she'll die. It's super nice. Being able to keep reducing this health limit and being able to do this is super nice. Terminal Winter is her S3. Attacks all enemies after attacking, grants Hubris's Dominion to the caster for 2 turns. This attack ignores the defense of the enemy with the highest max health, so cracking through whatever they have as their defensive wall. As a chain, she is a chain finish. After attacking, recovers 25 chain points. It's nice if you're trying to chain loop. There are better options, but it's not bad to have a finish if you don't have a finish. Her dual attack effect after attacking increases priority by 10%. So being able to increase her priority by 10% to get her attacking a couple more times is really, really strong. And something I realized that I definitely should be going over is her star levels. I realized I should really be going over star levels because I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of stuff here that I didn't even realize. So at 3 stars, which is what you'll get her at, her burst level 2 is unlocked. At 4 stars, when Terminal Winter defeats an enemy, it reduces the cooldown of the skill by 2 turns, and it gives plus 8% ally team critical damage and plus 1 chain passive weakness gauge damage. At 5 stars, her burst level 3 is unlocked, and she gets plus 50 action points at the start of the battle. And then at 6 star, which is where you want her to be, and this is why, always granted Hubris's Dominion when defeating an enemy, recovers health by 10%. So always granted Hubris's Dominion when defeating an enemy, recovers health by 10%. So she kind of has like an innate lifesteal, and then she always has Hubris's Dominion as her special buff. I apologize for not going over star levels before. I guess I just maybe never realized that I should have, and I apologize. I like throwing on a generate chain points when an attack scores a critical hit when you're using her for PvE. When you're using her for PvP, I tend to like to use let me see. I'm struggling to remember. Like this one isn't too bad for her because she does attack all enemies, but it's not the best. This one isn't too bad for her, but realistically, I like using this one, Undertaker's Charm, for her. Being able to recover action points when killing an enemy is very, very strong. And then I just max out your crit chance. Make sure you get it to 100. Mine's a little bit behind, which is why you see crit chance here and crit chance here. Her exclusive equipment is Deadly Ice. When scoring a critical hit, grants a barrier for 1 turn proportional to attack. And if you get it to plus 10 enhancement, you can increase damage dealt by Terminal Winter by 30%, which is a nice 30% damage bump on her S3. Now, I want y'all to take a guess on what gear set we're going to be using. I already accidentally showed you, but pretend you didn't. Pretend you didn't see it. Take a guess, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think her preferred gear set is going to be. I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. Alright, I'm impatient. We're going to be using the Revenge set. So the reason why we're using the Revenge set is because the lower her health drops, the more damage she's going to be able to do. And I think once she dips below 50% health, her damage goes above what normal damage would be. And like I said before, if her overshield, her barrier, doesn't count towards the Revenge set. It's separate. So it's still missing health, even though she has a barrier that is like, oh, I have all this barrier that actually means that I have more health than I actually do. It doesn't matter because you're still getting, it's not health technically. So we run Revenge set on everything. I use Violent Sledgehammer because, again, increases damage dealt proportional to her missing health. As long as she's able to survive, she'll be able to counter pretty effectively. And I'm using Prima Vista. The reason why I'm using Prima Vista is it grants a barrier to the caster when counterattacking. So if you're not getting that barrier already, this is just another way to get that barrier up, and it's equal to 100% of her attack. And I'm just going to be honest with you, her attack is nothing to scoff at. So, but realistically, your priority is going to be getting her crit chance to 100%. You want her crit chance to be 100% every single time. You never want it to fall below 100%. And then everything after that, you slam into attack, and you're pretty much set for her. Maybe throw some into accuracy, but for the most part, that is what your go-to move is. I'm actually going to see if I can take out one of these critical hit gems and still be at 100. I can. So I'm going to see if I take out 2 of them, will I still be at 100? Nope. See, I take out another one and I'm at 98%. It's because I'm working on my quirks still, which is still kind of being a pain in my ass right now. So we're going to slap in one more critical hit, and we're going to slap in an attack gem, because we're going to crank her up a little bit more. And look at that. She's already almost at 69,000 just because I did a little gem swapping. So I am working on getting her quirks maxed out so I can have 100% crit chance easier, and then 100% trying to crank that attack as high as I can, because almost 6,000 is nice, but nowhere near as high as I want it to be. But I'm using the Revenge set. Like I said, crit chance, attack, crit damage, and then a good bit of speed. That's kind of what you want on everything. This one has a little bit of health, which isn't too bad. This one has a little bit of defense, which isn't too bad either, because it means your barriers will last a little bit longer. But if I was going to change it, I definitely would be changing that defense into probably, if I could, I'd probably want to change that to attack. If I could. Health isn't bad either. I honestly would rather have 12% health over 12% defense, if I'm being honest. But I would want... yeah, effectiveness doesn't really help me all that much. Hey, look, she's at 69,000 now. See, even with just some little minor upgrade like that, I mean, it does wonders for her. She has more health than she does defense, which is why that switch made so much of a difference. But yeah, that is Gnosis Dahlia. I honestly was kind of hoping we got a Gnosis Dahlia skin for this battle pass, but we got Milk Chocolate Iota instead. That was an accident. My thing is, though, is that I know this skin was in the shop for a while, so I'm curious what you guys have in the battle pass. If you already have this skin, like, what did you get? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments below if you have it already and what you got. But with that, I'm going to leave this episode here. I hope you guys found this kind of entertaining. Dahlia, Gnosis Dahlia is a very straightforward character. I mean, you Violent Sledgehammer, crank that attack as high as possible. Prima Vista, I use it for barrier bonuses. This is one of the characters that I got her when I first started playing, and you can see, like, it shows that, you know, like, she's up here. I want to get her to 70,000 soon, but I'm working on it, you know. 70,000 is my benchmark. Once I hit her at 70,000, then I'm probably going to ignore her until I can min-max everything a little bit better. But, I mean, there's not really much else to go over. I mean, crank that crit chance, crank that crit damage, crank that attack, get a good amount of health, that way she can live a little bit easier. You really don't want evasion, and the reason why you don't want evasion is because if she dodges, she won't counterattack. Because you actually kind of want her to get crit in order to counterattack. Because whatever crit she takes, she's going to dish out 2 or 3 times as much damage, especially when they drop her health really low. She's just going to be able to come back swinging and hit so much harder than she got hit. You don't really want evasion. So if you have evasion, you want to get rid of it. You want a good bit of accuracy, and effectiveness doesn't matter. Resilience doesn't really matter either if you bring in like Nella or Mava to support. If you have like Nella or Mava to support, you do pretty well. But she really is going to be the star of your team. I have seen her as my MVP more times than almost any other character in the game, and that's just because she does a crazy amount of damage, hits like a fucking truck, and it's kind of crazy. You don't even want to max speed G.Dahlia because you want to get crit first. Like, flat out, you want to get crit first. Like, at least in my experience, I enjoy getting crit first, because if I get crit first, then I'm able to counterattack, do extra damage, and then I get to have my turn. And if they don't have a tank with a Charmer's Necklace, you can nuke them and be done with it. If they have a Charmer's Necklace, then you need a little bit of assistance from like your Meva or something, which is why my Meva is actually slightly faster than my Dahlia. She's right here. She's right there. Anyways, I'm going to leave this one here because I got a couple more videos to get through, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.